Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm Reverend Mark Anthony Lord, and welcome to Unity Naples. We are here during the middle of our Metaphysical Bible Summer Camp. And today we have a special, wonderful gathering created just for you. And today we've got people coming from not only all across the country, from Tahoe to Chicago to Jersey to Minneapolis, and of course, Naples, Florida. We also have people visiting us from around the world. So wherever you are, welcome. And if this is your first time joining us, a really special welcome to you. Thank you for being here. Today, I want to welcome Jody, who is our host for today, coming to us from outside her tent.
Good morning, campers, and welcome to week 4 of Unity of Naples Metaphysical Bible Summer Camp. I'm Jody Scholes, your camp counselor for the day, and I've got my closed-toe shoes on because we're going for a hike in the woods or through maybe an easier path. I'm so looking forward to this 4th week of camp. And I hope you brought your good walking shoes because we're going to go on an adventure and explore the story of the Prodigal Son. Reverend Mark is streaming from Camp Home Base as we're expecting the Prodigal Son to return any moment. We're grateful for today's technology that allows us to continue to be together at this time. And we're so blessed today because we have a wonderful guest musical guide, Gary Lynn Floyd. So let's begin our service by heading over to Gary.
Good morning, Naples. So glad to be with you this morning. The song is called One Step at a Time. Gonna climb this mountain. I won't stop till I get to the top. One step at a time. No doubt about it, I won't stop till I get to the top. One step at a time. Gonna climb this mountain. I won't stop till I get to the top. One step at a time. No doubt about it, I won't stop till I get to the top. One step at a time. Leave behind what's weighing me down, wash away what's holding me back. My heart is falling, face forward, feet on the ground, living in this courage I've found. The sky is calling, gonna climb this mountain. I won't stop till I get to the top. One step at a time. No doubt about it, I won't stop till I get to the top. One step at a time. Leave behind what's weighing me down, wash away what's holding me back. My heart is falling, face forward, feet on the ground, living in this courage I've found. The sky is calling. Leave behind what's weighing me down, wash away what's holding me back. My heart is falling, face forward, feet on the ground, living in this courage I've found. The sky is calling, gonna climb this mountain, won't stop till I get to the top. One step at a time. No doubt about it, I won't stop till I get to the top. One step at a time. 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 Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Isn't technology amazing? Gary, Lynn Floyd, thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Well, blessings, blessings, blessings to Gary, Lynn Floyd. Campers and hikers, hey, we've got a few important announcements for you today, so please listen up. In care of our community, we continue to monitor the situation regarding COVID-19. We have a new target reopening date, and that is September 27th. And you can visit our website, unitynaples.org, for more information. And you'll also find a reopening survey, which you can fill out if you haven't already, as well as find out how, if you're so inspired, you can help be a part of our reopening process by joining the Sacred Service Ministry team. We so appreciate you and all of your feedback. In service to keeping us connected during this time, we have created an abundance of virtual opportunities for us to be together in the upcoming weeks. All of this will be listed with instructions on how to connect on our website, unitynaples.org, and on our Facebook page. And here's what's happening this week at Unity of Naples. We've got prayer and meditation, which is live on the Unity Naples Facebook page, and that's at noon, Monday through Friday. We have a book study with Reverend Eileen at 11 a.m. on Zoom. And the current book that Reverend Eileen is discussing is Discover the Power Within. Wednesdays is The Spiritual Way with Reverend Mark. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern. You'll hear more about that a little later. And today, join us after service at 11:15 and bring your adventurous heart, because we're going to go deep into the crevasse of the story of the Prodigal Son. It's a great way to share and connect with your amazing community. Access is through Zoom, and the Zoom link is on the slide, as well as will be in the comments. And Unity of Naples is a non-denominational spiritual community anchored in loving acceptance. If you're with us for the first time, please know, whoever you are or wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you're welcome here. Now, sit back, take a deep breath of this delicious fresh air, and Reverend Mark is going to lead us in meditation.
Thank you so much, Jody. When camp is over, you need to go get a news anchor job. You're so good. But not until camp is over.
No problem.
All right, everybody. Now is our time to meditate together, to take some nice, slow, deep breaths. I invite you to turn your hands up if you're sitting. That represents your receptivity. Lift your chin up, opening up your heart space, closing your eyes so that you wash away the external world, and then lift up your inner eyes to the third eye, through which the wisdom and the love of God flows. Take nice, slow, deep breaths with me. Be here now.
Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. Oh Lord. Kumbaya. Someone singing, Lord. Kumbaya. Someone singing, Lord. Kumbaya. Someone singing, Lord. Kumbaya. Oh Lord. Kumbaya.
Oh, enjoy a nice smile on your face. One of the best camp songs ever. Kumbaya, bringing us into the light and the love of Spirit within ourselves. A time of worship, a time of surrendering ourselves over to the love and the light of God, knowing that this love and light guides us and takes care of all. And that our practice and our calling is to become bigger vessels for the light and the love of God. And so in this time of meditation, I ask this light to purify our hearts and our minds, releasing us from false beliefs, releasing us from any guilt or shame, dissolving those lies, that we may truly know the love of God in and as who we are. Take a deep breath with me. Imagine this love light growing bigger and bigger and bigger from the very center of your being, growing so large that it extends beyond your body, beyond your world, and encompasses, in fact, the entire world with your love.
Someone's praying, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's praying, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's praying, Lord, kumbaya. Oh Lord, kumbaya.
And I speak a blessing over our service today, knowing that as we explore an ancient story, that what is revealed to us is the wisdom and the support for us today. So I ask the Holy Spirit to open us wide to hear individually the message that is here for us, and to know that collectively we rise up in the love of God higher than we could ever go alone. We are blessed. Special blessings over our special guest, Lynn Floyd. So grateful for him coming to us, bringing his love and talent. We are blessed. I am grateful. And so it is. Amen. And now we welcome back the amazing Lynn Floyd.
As time has unfolded me, it has revealed to me life's nothing less than sublime. With every thought I make, every last breath I take, may I be gracious and kind. Love, I invite you to open up this heart of mine. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred, and guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Kindness wash over me, make me a symphony, play every note you can find. Make me reverberate, gently deactivate, slowly flow out of my mind. Find me a melody, dance and let my anthem be. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred, and guide me to be faithful and strong. Love cover me, love cover me, love cover me. I will not be shaken, I will not be moved. Love cover me, may my heart awaken, tenderness be proved. Love cover me, love cover me. This is your part. You can sing it with me if you want. It's easy. Love, 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 love. Yeah, I can't hear you, but I know you're singing. Love, 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 love. Love, I invite you to open up this heart of mine. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred, and guide me to be faithful and strong. Love cover me, love cover me, love cover me, love cover me. Sing it one more time. Love, 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 love. It's beautiful. Love, 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 love. Love cover me, love cover me, love cover me.
Thank you so much, Gary. Is that one of your originals?
That is.
Oh,
Yes.
that is absolutely beautiful. Thank you for being here. It's been on my heart, I think both of our hearts, for years to do this together.
Yes.
So I'm really, really glad you're here. And I did see you post, by the way, that the Prodigal Son was the perfect day for you to be here.
Yes. Yes. Kind of the story of my life.
Yeah. I think the story of all our lives. So we'll bring you back later and see how you resonate with that. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mark.
By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this, but Gary Lynn Floyd is on the West Coast. So it is very early there. So we really appreciate him being here. So we're in the 4th week of Metaphysical Bible Summer Camp. We kicked off our journey with the metaphysical interpretation of Adam and Eve. And we talked about the lie of separation. And that's really what the myth shows us. And when we flipped it over, we realized that it wasn't about God throwing us out of the oneness in the Garden of Eden. It was about us dreaming ourselves separate from God. Then we moved to explore the Bible story of Jonah and the whale. What a super rich story that many of us could relate to. You know, when you feel that internal calling from God to make a difference, to help out, and instead of moving toward that calling, you move in the opposite direction. You run away so that you don't have to answer that call. And what can happen to us inside of ourselves when we do that. And then last week, we explored probably the second most famous story, David and Goliath, which is really about love versus fear, love versus the ego, and how to conquer the monsters of fear inside of you, and the fact that you are perfectly wired to do so. You came in, you incarnated with the right perfect gifts and talents and spiritual qualities that you were meant to have to move through life successfully. And today we cover what I think is the number one most known story, rich with so much in it, which is the prodigal son. I've spoken on this hundreds of times, and I will speak on this hundreds and hundreds of times more, because it truly does tell a very, very familiar story on so many layers. I mean, there's just layers and layers and layers. So my intention is to go to a deeper layer than we ever have. And I invite you to open yourself up to hear this story in a brand new way. Not, oh yeah, I've heard that, but what's new here for me? But let's begin by recapping the story itself. So I kind of like just tell it in modern language. I'm just going to kind of make it more understandable that way. So there's this really rich dad, like more money, more good, more manifestations that he could ever spend in 10 lifetimes. He's got two sons. He's got the prodigal son and the good son. And so as the story goes, the prodigal son comes of age, and he goes into his father's office and he says, "Give me my inheritance. I'm out of here." So the father, with all the love in his heart, gives to the prodigal son his rightful inheritance. And the prodigal son takes off. He leaves, he heads out of town as fast as he can. And let's say he goes to a rock and roll city like New York, and he gets himself the penthouse on the highest building, and he just goes for it. He's just party city 7 days a week. Now, he's got lots of friends coming to join him because, hey, wherever the free party is, why not? So he's filling his home with lots of different people, and he's just king of the hill. Highest tower, best apartment, amazing view, people all around him, loving him and thanking him, partying it up, morning, noon, and night. Well, the prodigal son is just running on these resources that he's been given, but they run out pretty quickly. And so what happens? The friends start to leave. He becomes more and more lonely, depressed, afraid, disconnected. And so he starts, let's say he starts partying and using more and just gets more and more contracted by the fear and the disconnection and the isolation. He loses that beautiful penthouse. That's gone. Of course, all the friends disappear. And he finds himself in a dark back alley, all by himself, so lost, so forlorn. Now, in the story, the original story, it says he finds himself in a pig pen working with the pigs, like taking care of them. That's the best he can create. But inside of that deepest bottom, he has a revelation. And he thinks, I could go back and work for my father. I could get a meager job for my father and have a better life than this. So he decides to begin returning home. And as he gets closer to home, he hangs heavier and heavier, the shame and the guilt, and he's just walking one step at a time, like really kind of imagine practicing his speech, his apology to his father and begging for him, just give me a job, please. I'm sorry. Well, the father sees him coming, and the father is filled with so much unconditional love. He goes running out the front door. He runs down the long driveway, and he's running down the road to meet his son. And his son sees his father coming. He's like, no, I'm not worthy of this. I'm not worthy. No, just give me a job. All I want is a job. Playing smaller and smaller and smaller. But the father won't see it. He won't have it. All he sees is his son is home. And he wraps his arms around him and he's loving him. Now imagine his son is all beaten and torn and smelly, and his father just loves him. Brings him into the house, gives him the opportunity to clean up, and decides to throw a huge party. My son is home. I've got to let the world know. And so he brings out the best foods and the best everything, and he invites everyone. It's a huge welcome home experience. Now during the party, the father notices his other son, the good son, pouting way far away in a corner by himself. And so the father goes over to see what's going on with him. And as he gets closer, he can tell this son is pissed off. He is so angry. And he goes up and he says, "What's wrong? Your brother is home. This is a time of celebration." And the good son blows up. He says, "This is ridiculous. I have been the one to stay here. I have been the one to take care of our companies. I have been the one working morning, noon, and night to assure that all that we have grows and multiplies. And that guy takes off and blows it all. And this is what you give him? A party?" And the father, with all the love in his heart, just looks at the son and he says, "My son, your brother is home. He was lost and now he's found. We must celebrate. And please know that all that I have been given is yours and always yours." So that's the story. Now, let's look at this metaphysically, because obviously that's where it gets really rich. Okay? So the Father represents the love of God. It's the love of Spirit inside of you. It is the beam of light in the center of your being that never judges. It knows nothing but the extension of itself as who you are. It doesn't see the negativity. It doesn't buy into the broken stories. It doesn't play the game of separation. It is the light and the love of God from which you come. I say it every Sunday. We cannot know the place where God ends and you begin. There is no knowing of that, because it is one stream of unconditional love. Please, let's pause right there and breathe that in with me. The unconditioned, perfect love of God resides in you, and it is that from which you have come. So that's the father of the story. Good place to begin, right? Now, the prodigal son represents the part in us that, out of shame and guilt and the ego, believes that we're separate from God. And the ego part of ourselves thinks that it has to build its own kingdom. It thinks it has to separate itself from the collective, and it needs to make a stand of its own. The ego inside of us is out to prove in the world. It's out to conquer in the world. It's out to impress in the world. It never believes itself worthy. In fact, the ego depends on you believing you're not worthy. The ego depends on you not wanting to commune and merge with the will of God that is so perfect for you. The ego whispers inside of your ear, you must find your own way. You must build your own kingdom. You must prove your own worthiness. The ego sets us off on a course that will never, ever, ever lead to anything good. The ego's mantra is seek and never find. You got that? The ego's mantra: seek, prove, build, get out there, never find, never really succeed, never really feel complete, never really feel good, but keep trying. Keep hanging out there, and I'll give you just enough recognition here and there. I'll give you crumbs to keep you going. So all we get in the world is crumbs. Sure, you might have a big score in the world. You might get a little recognition. You might get a big win, but it's temporary if it's not anchored first in the love of God. And that's what the prodigal son represents inside of us. It's the part of us believing itself separate from God, takes its inheritance and goes off and tries to build on its own, which is impossible. It is literally impossible, because you never can separate from the love and the power of God. You can pretend, you can dream it, you can try, but you'll never, ever, ever succeed. What you will do is eventually hit a place of so much pain, so much loneliness, so much loss, that the only place to turn is back to God. Those of us who have struggled with addictions and really bottomed out understand that. Those of us who have bankrupted, lost all that we built, understand that. Those of us who have suffered great illness in the body, lost a loved one to death, we know the pain so dark, the back alley experience of being so alone, that even when we don't know what God is, it's all the words we have is to cry out for help. In this story, it shows us the extreme consequence of that. The bigger danger, listen up, take a breath. The bigger danger is for those of us who don't reach the extreme bottoming out, but just create a life further enough out to make us think we're succeeding. And we're in pain, but not enough pain. We're in pain, but we're not bottoming out. We're building in the world and we're experiencing enough success and falling down that we can keep ourselves toggling out there. That's the ones I'm more worried about. The ones who bottom out, the addicts who crash and burn and call out to God, they're covered. It's those of us who are in the middle, and that may be you. Please be willing to look. Where am I in pain, but not enough pain to change? Where am I experiencing just enough success and recognition in the world that I give it value and I can leave God out of it, at least not in my moments, but overall? This is an important thing. The story shows the bottoming out. If you don't bottom out, will you be stuck forever out there like the prodigal son? Of course you won't be, but we want to get you home quickly. So wherever you are, all the way to the bottoming out or halfway there, this is your moment to breathe and go, I want to go home to God. I want to go home to the oneness with Spirit. And that's what happens to the prodigal son. Now, it's an interesting thing because in the story, it says that he is, in ancient times, that he is in taking care of the pigs in a pig pen. Now, this is a Jew in the pig pen now, so that's got extra drama because, of course, if you know the Jewish culture, the pigs are not to be eaten or messed with on any level. So it really just shows an even deeper level of how far down he's gotten. So he starts moving his way back to God, which is that wake-up moment that I pray for you and for me. I pray for that wake-up moment when I get 2 steps out. I'm not interested in the long journey to bottoming out anymore. I'm not interested in 2 steps out. I know the ego does that, but pray us home. So the prodigal son returns. The unconditional love of God is there, right? Welcome home. All the love of God sees is its own beautiful creation. And he brings him home. Now I want to pause here and talk about the inheritance. Because in the world of form, I use the analogy of money and penthouses and, it's spending things of this world to get things of this world. But that's not your spiritual inheritance. And there's a larger price we pay when we deplete our spiritual inheritance. And what is your spiritual inheritance? Your joy, your passion, your creativity, your divine ideas, of which there are infinite solutions inside of you, a forever blossoming garden of love and joy and power and peace. All of that is your inherent inheritance. All of that has been given to you. And on that, you can build and create from and as God all that you want and more. Now, this is what truly gets lost. That's really what suffers. The things of this world come and go. But if you hang out too far out in the prodigal son land, it is the soul that dies. Not completely. There'll always be a string, but the dying soul is the most painful because that's where the loneliness and the isolation and the depression and the suicidal tendencies live. It's in the dying of the soul. And that's the inheritance that was lost. But as soon as he returns to God, it begins to restore itself. And it's literally given back to him immediately. No scorekeeping. No, hey, you blew it. You got to do penance. No, fill up, back up. It's infinite. Fill up to the inheritance of God. Always yours when you come home. But one of the most important parts I want to focus on in the story is the good son. Oh, the good son. We all have that inside of us. We have the prodigal egoic part that wants to go away and separate from God, and that one's obvious. But the good son is being conditioned by religions and by culture and by family. And the good son says, don't be yourself, pretend. Be good, be nice, be kind. Do your part, and then you'll win. Climb the ladder, then you'll succeed. Get this degree. Make sure that you do this right. Build up your ways of the world. Be good according to the plan of the ego and the family structure and society. And then you will succeed. And that's the part of us that's like, cover up your authenticity. Don't be too loud. Don't want for too much. Keep it under wraps. Don't be you. Be good in the name of earning favor from God, which is just as much BS as the prodigal part of us going away, trying to build separate from God. That is a bigger lie in the middle of this story that I want all of us to become free from today. You can't be good enough for God, and you can't be bad enough to reject God. The only way to know God is in your authenticity, to be who you are. Am I saying don't be nice? Of course not, but be authentically nice. Don't be an overlay of fake nice so that you can be loved and accepted and so God will approve. Don't be an overlay of pretending so that you're acceptable in the eyes of God. That makes me furious. That's what religions did to us. That's what happened to us as very young kids. We got captured and we were told that we have to be good. Santa Claus was watching, making a list and checking it twice. That is trauma to a young kid's mind. Trying to be other. Then we have a selfish thought. We have a sexual urge. We have an impulse of joy. And inside of us it says, no, turn that off. Don't let anyone know this is here. Because if I show my truth, I'm going to get laughed at. I'm going to get ridiculed. I'm going to get shamed. I'm going to be punished. The good son is a lie. It's a lie. And many of us have been walking the world pretending to be good, pretending to be who we think or who we were trained to be so that we were acceptable to our parents, to the world, and to God. Again, I want to reiterate, I am not saying don't be good, don't be kind, don't be generous. Be that from your authenticity. And when you let yourself be authentic, that will naturally appear and you'll have your own rhythm. I'll never forget this story about Oprah. She was telling the story about talking to Stedman, I don't know if she still was Stedman or whatever, but at that time was Stedman. And she was talking to him about struggling to be nice. She's like, I'm trying to be nice. And as the story goes, Stedman said to her, Oprah, don't bother. You're not nice. That's not who you are. And that was a revelation. That was a revelation to her because she realized, oh, this isn't one of my authentic character traits. And as she gave up trying to be nice, I have no doubt niceness flows. I mean, this is one of the most generous women, spiritually evolved women on our planet today. But it's when you're trying to be it, when you're being the good son. So can you see how both the good son and the prodigal son, two sides of the same coin, exist inside of you? And in fact, they support each other because after the good part of the trying to be good part of you has had enough efforting, you know what it says? Screw it. I'm out of here. I'm going to go get my own. And the prodigal son takes over. So it really is flipping a coin. It's the same. It's the same broken parts coming together, working in partnership to keep you separate from God. And when we come home to God, all is ours. And what does God say to the good son? The same thing to the prodigal son. Look, man, play your games. All I have is yours. Now you're going to have to come get it and be in alignment with home. You can't sit out here pouting and get it. Please hear that. You can't sit outside pouting and comparing and keeping score and competing. And why did she get it and I didn't? You'll never get God's grace from there. but you will get it when you recognize, oh, this is the good part, and this is the trying to be good part in me. Whoo, let that go. Come home to God. So when we bring the prodigal part of us home to God, and when we bring the part of us that's trying desperately to be good, to seek favor, home to God, then we're centered in the will of God, which is only good, which is only generous and abundant, which is a joy that is beyond your understanding. This is the gift, and this is the metaphysical interpretation of the prodigal son. It's the story of all of us, yes? Take a deep breath. Let's move into prayer. Welcoming back Amy and Jesse, our prodigal son and daughter. Take a deep breath, everybody, as we turn within and let them lead us in with song.
It's by thy grace that I sing. It's by thy grace that I sing. It's by thy grace,
Yes.
that I sing your holy name. Oh, it's by thy grace that I feel. It's by thy grace that I feel. It's by thy grace that I feel your holy name.
And it is God's grace that brings us home and allows us to feel the holiness, the wholeness, the oneness with God. Again, where I began, it is established inside of us as an ever-flowing, never-ending, infinite stream. And we are that. And so today we call upon the grace of God to bring home in us the prodigal parts, the parts that in defiance and fear, shame and guilt have gone away from God and tried to make a life. God's grace, bring those parts home with total unconditional acceptance now. And to the parts of us that are faking it, putting on facades of niceness and kindness and dimming our light to fit in, thinking that that will bring us reward. Oh, God's grace, bring that part of us home now, once and forevermore. It is the grace of God that allows us to lay down the games and to just be here, to let God's grace flow through us and to use us, to use our hearts, to use our minds, to use our voice, to use our hands, to be the real blessing unto the world that we're here to be. Holy Spirit, help us to know that God's will, in perfect alignment, God's will is the greatest expression of our lives that we could ever have. Cut the cords to every false belief that pulls us out of this. Let us stand strongly and openly to the flow of God's will and God's grace as we say, use us, use us, use us, use us, use us. Take a deep breath.
Someday the day shall come when all the glory shall be thine. People will say it is yours, but I shall deny, not mine. It's by thy grace,
Yeah.
that I sing. Oh yeah, it's by thy grace, oh, that I sing. It's by thy grace that I sing your holy name.
And so with gratitude, I release this prayer into the action of the law, knowing that it is fulfilled, it is done, and so it is. Amen.
Allah, Jehovah, Rama, Satanama. Jehovah, Rama, Satanama. Peace to all, life to all, love to all. Peace to all, life to all, love to all.
Take a nice deep breath. Thank you, sweet Spirit, for the fulfillment of this prayer. Thank you so much, Amy and Jesse. That was beautiful. Thank you. All right, now is the opportunity for you to give your gift to Unity Naples. We ask that you please help us to, especially during this time, during this pandemic, please help us to prosper, to continue what we're doing. Each month, keeping it real, we get more and more behind, not terribly behind, but behind. And we want to begin bringing that back. As we're beginning to move into the fall season, we want to really pull in the harvest, and we want to focus on creating an abundance for us to do and be what we're here to do and be, especially as we're moving into the reopening, which is requiring a lot of additional pieces that do cost money. So I ask you to please generously give today, support us. I know that we work hard to give you the best transformational teachings and spiritual food that we can give. And I'm very confident of that. And I'm confident that if you will drop into your heart of appreciation, God will guide you to what it is for you to do today. Thank you so much. We bring back Jody, our camp counselor, to tell you how to give.
Thanks, Reverend Mark. There's a few ways for you to give. First, you can give through the website at unitynaples.org/giving. That's right in the screen for you to find. There you'll find a Donate Now button, and you can proceed and do your donation that way. Or we have an option for you to give through text. Dial in the number first, 239-230-4704. That's 239-230-4704. And just like you're sending a regular text, just type the word give. And if it's your first time giving this way, you'll receive a link with instructions. But if you've given before through text, then you can simply text in the dollar amount to that text number. And the third way that you can give is write a check, just put it in the mail, and send it to Unity Naples at 2000 Unity Way, Naples, Florida, 34112. And now, please, as you're texting or writing the check, enjoy as we go back to Gary for some guiding musical inspiration.
I am stable and secure. I surround myself with joy. I take care of my well-being. Cosmic vibes have got me singing. I'm stable and secure. I am stable and secure. I surround myself with joy. I take care of my well-being. Cosmic vibes have got me singing. I'm stable and secure. From the soles of my feet to the top of my head, yeah. When the flow is complete, I will go where I'm led. Lead me where I'm led. Lead me where I'm led. Lead me where I'm led. Karen says I'm too blessed to be stressed. Eddie says I am the place where God shows up. Jamie says love is my religion, helps me make my own decision to be stable and secure. From the soles of my feet to the top of my head, yeah. When the flow is complete, I will go where I'm led, yeah. Lead me where I'm led. Lead me where I'm led. Lead me where I'm led. I am stable and secure. I surround myself with joy. I take care of my well-being. Cosmic vibes have got me singing. I'm stable and secure. Karen says I'm too blessed to be stressed. Eddie says I am the place where God shows up. Jamie says love is my religion, helps me make my own decision to be stable and secure. From the soles of my feet to the top of my head, yeah. When the flow is complete, I will go where I'm led. Lead me 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 where I'm led.
Oh, that's beautiful. Gary, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. How'd that story work for you?
Oh, wow. Really incredible. Realizing that I am all three.
Exactly.
And to bring it all together to, I identified with one of the characters, but now knowing that I'm all three, and that it's just about bringing it all together to, be more authentic and just more in it as all three characters. Just incredible.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Most people can quickly identify with the prodigal son, but that good side, he's hiding out in the background.
Oh, definitely. I definitely have him in there too.
Yeah, well, thank you for being here, Gary. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Mark.
And thank you all so much for your contributions. Really, we're so blessed by you. You help us to be and do what we're here to do and to fulfill the mission of Unity Naples. So thank you so much. I want to share with you, next weekend is going to be our last weekend, or last Sunday at camp. We're going to be studying the Beatitudes, which are a phenomenal poetic part of the Bible, but they're confusing. Blessed are the meek, blessed are the poor in spirit. Like, it's really confusing, but I promise you, there is richness to be found in the Beatitudes. So make sure you stick around at camp for one more week to receive those. Also, I'm really, really excited for our spiritual speaker series, spectacular spiritual speaker series. Coming up in September, we are hosting 3 Wednesdays in a row, Bishop Carlton Pearson. The dude is unbelievable. His story, he is just global in his presence and his transformation, coming from a fundamental mentality, having that busted open, and now walking in the teachings that we teach. Followed by Gary Renard, who is a phenomenal A Course in Miracles teacher. He too had an extremely mystical experience that downloaded support for those who follow that particular teaching in just tremendous ways. And then finally, ending with my spiritual practitioner from way, way back in the 90s, Angela Montano, the best spiritual counselor and prayer in the world. she's going to be joining us. So please, right now, save the dates, Wednesdays in September. Thank you so much. Welcome back, Jody.
Oh, are you guys feeling blessed? I'm feeling massively blessed. But calling all campers, hikers, adventurers, this Wednesday, we have a very special evening prepared just for you. Join us for the Spiritual Way, where Reverend Mark will explore the story of the prodigal son even deeper and how that prodigal son operates within each one of us. He has a masterclass called Walk Home to the Unconditional Love and Acceptance of God. You definitely want to make it home in time for this. We'll meet you in the Zoom room Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And you can register with the link to receive your summer guidebook, as well as the Zoom link for the Wednesday evening class. Registration link is in the comments, and you can join us from wherever you are in your journey. And please know this, that as the week carries on, we're here for you. We want to stay connected to you, so we ask for your help in doing this. First, please be sure to like the Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Unity of Naples. Please go to the page often to receive the latest updates, read about the virtual offerings, watch inspirational videos, and connect with your amazing community. Second, in helping us stay in touch, please make sure we have your email address. In the comment section of this live video, we will post a link that takes you to a page where you can input your name, your email, and your contact information. You can also go to our website at unitynaples.org, where you'll find a place to add your email right at the top of the homepage. So please make sure to do that today. And remember, there's all sorts of wonderful things you can do with your afternoon at camp. You can look at the flora and the fauna in the woods, continue to stroll along the hiking trail. But before you do any of this, please join us after the service at 11:15 as we really get deep into the story of the prodigal son. It's a great way to share and connect with your amazing community. Access is through Zoom, and the Zoom link is on the slide and will be in the comments. Also, if you're affected by this current health crisis and need support, or you have something you'd like to share that you're celebrating and you'd like someone to just simply pray with you, please call the office and leave your name and number. We do our very best to get back to you within 24 hours. That office number is on the screen, and it's 239-775-3009. And you can always email us as well with that request to hello@unitynaples.org. And for immediate prayer, call Silent Unity. Their prayer hotline is 1-816-969-2000. So that's for immediate prayer. And now back to our friendlies, campers, Amy and Jesse, for our closing song.
All right, Unity, let's get up, dance, sing along with us, and celebrate this powerful message we had. Ready? You know it. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Check it out. The light that shines is a light of love. Lights the darkness from above. It shines on me and it shines on you. Shows what the power of love can do. Gonna shine my light both bright and clear. Shine my light both far and near. If there's a dark corner in this land, I'm gonna let my little light shine.
Come on.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Yeah, yeah. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Come on. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Break it down one more time. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Yes, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Gary, Amy, and Jesse, and Jody. Peace and love, everybody. Have a beautiful Sunday.
Thank you, Unity.
Thank you.
We end with our prayer. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Peace and love.